man may not be on the top of his form, but he can still make himself useful.
Welcome back to the By Design Show. I'm your host, Ronnie Knuckles, and today we have
TomMabe.com. You get my T-shirts. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Sorry, no, it's all good. We've got a Louisville legend, Tom Mabe, in the house. By the way, TomMabe.com. You can buy a T-shirt.
There's nothing for sale at Tom Mabe.
Oh, never
You
mind.
actually start over.
No, let's go.
Let's go. We're rolling with it.
It is gold.
If you don't know Tom Mabe, he can teach you how many letters are in the English alphabet, and if you don't know what that means,
right.
I encourage you to check it out.
He's referring to these silly memes I do. I'm constantly chasing the algorithms on Facebook and social media, and right now the things that seem to be paying out the most are these little memes. But I'm double dipping. I'm putting a meme up, but behind it I have a video going.
Yeah.
And it's just me. It may be chickens back here. I mean, I have used the chickens and memes before, and I just video. So they're like, oh, he's got a video, and they're commenting. So I'm getting the bonuses, and I'm getting the in-stream ads. So anyway,
everybody likes a chicken in a video.
Oh, dude, yeah, show me the chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim had one where he had the chickens were out in front of the liquor store, and it was like a rainy day, so it seemed kind of sad. And he had that song playing, like you don't know what's the song?
It's by Everlast.
You don't know what it's like or whatever.
You don't know what
really might know what it's like
to be the bad man
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the chickens are just out front of the liquor store behind in front of a Jack Daniels sign.
Hey, what was that song?
Chickens with addiction.
Yeah.
The liquor store.
Yeah.
I thought
And then they're waddling up to me, and his little neck things are shaking around.
Oh, you got to put a little slow-mo going on.
Yeah, they're funny. They sit out there and eat donuts every day.
Yeah.
People feel
You just don't expect it.
Yeah.
You
And
just
that's what's
pull them down,
hilarious
get
about
some
it.
donuts and maybe some,
some chicken pets. while
I'm
you're
there every Saturday. I told you that off the air. I'm there at your donut shop. next
Best
to you.
donuts in Louisville.
I can't believe how great they are.
So good.
Yeah.
Tim doesn't agree, but you know.
Who do you like? You like
He's a Jeff's guy, probably.
Jeff's is good. They're really proud of their. I mean, it's like you get a $9 glazed donut.
Yeah, that's
at
what I'm
Jeff's.
saying.
You get a dozen over here for 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah,
like
you get there at
You ain't
6 a.m.
wrong.
You get the pick of the. You
ain't
get your
wrong.
pick too. You can get whatever. So
Jeff's just got them cakey donuts, dude.
yeah,
I like the
cakey donut for a
Where they-
cakey boy.
Like a birthday donut. It's a birthday cake.
Yeah.
Donut.
Yeah. I like cake.
We can tell. I do too. Though. Who am I kidding? Yeah,
Over
to
that
the
way.
gym.
The gym's over that way.
I
I saw
saw
you do that. Did you get a spasm when you did that?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm bursting out of this jacket.
Dude.
You are.
I did a push-up Thursday. I was pretty happy about that.
I saw your. You had a video where you said, "My wife told me I need to do muscle confusion."
I need to confuse my muscles.
You need
Got
to
to
confuse
confuse your
my
muscles. And I
muscles?
tried it the other day. I went to the gym, and right when I got to the parking lot, I'm like, psych! I went to Cracker Barrel, confused the heck out of them.
They were confused.
That was sometimes jokes just write themselves. I wrote that at the gym.
Did you?
Right.
Yeah, I go to this Mount Washington gym down here, and I'm like, that's just a funny joke. And I'm like, where's my phone? I have to write. I don't sit down to write jokes. They just kind of pop in my
It's
head.
like life happens. And it just-
When life gets lifey, I write it down. And I tell you what I've really experienced is I've been one of my tenants in J-Town. It's called One Love, and they're
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, they do Delta 9, and I microdose these Delta 9s, and the creativity comes, and I hear about people. I never was a pot smoker, but I hear about people who like, oh, it was so funny till the next day until we sobered up. But all the stuff I'm writing on Delta 9 it's just
funny all the way through.
Even the next day, it's so great. Or 2 hours later, it's just like you're on a different frequency. It's like, wow, you're approaching that joke from a different direction. So it's just what a game changer that is. So
Yeah.
anyway.
No, you told me one time I had called you, and so we had done junk removal. That's how we met. We met you through a junk removal job, and I knew who you were, and Cedric had come out and done the job, which we talked about earlier.
Sure.
And then I called you back. You had called me about something, and you were talking about like finding cool items.
That's right.
And we were talking, and I said, "Do you remember Cedric?" And you said, "I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was on a gummy.
I might have been on a gummy that day. Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah.
I forget what I was doing. Sometimes we'll see a prop and go, we can write it. But it's
that's what it was.
I could produce, like some of the pranks some of the classic pranks, like the DUI prank where I told the guys in a coma for 10 years. We took one of my offices and we made it look like a hospital room.
Yeah.
That if I do that same prank today, it will get, 1,000 views. But I can take, me just going, where am I? And I'm just going down 65 or going down somewhere in E-Town, and it will get 19 million views.
That's
or something.
crazy.
And
That's wow.
And then I own there. I look at all your cool equipment here and all these cool cameras. I own every camera known to man, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But if I shoot it on my iPhone straight up and down vertical like a dad at a soccer game, then I'm making that's what they want to see. It's really amazing what's working nowadays.
Yeah. And
if I do this, no views. This here, a zillion views.
No kidding.
I got over 100 million views on several videos, like 100 million a piece from doing this.
That is so wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the algorithms have changed like an insane amount, and like we're just now getting into the content creation, and so I'm trying to figure it all out. Like I'll see some of my videos will get 3,000 or 4,000 views, and another might get 500, and I'm like, well, what did I do differently here?
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes it's and if I see a video that's not performing well, I'll literally just take it down and re-upload it at a different time, and that seems to help.
Oh, that's cool. So I remember all your prank videos, like the Mabe in America videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started like following you. We went and watched some old ones today, just as you
nice.
were coming in. The one where you're a doctor, you're down at like Baptist, or so you asked that guy to read your X-rays.
Yeah. I got one of the best X-ray technicians.
He's just out there like smoking a cigarette.
Oh, dude, I'm dressed like a doctor. I think we call it Dr. Dumbass, and it's where I'm like going through a drugstore. I'm asking like people like just coming off the street and they got their jammy pants on, like at Walmart at 2 a.m. or something. I'm like, hey, what's good for gas? Like I'm asking people like really just silly things. But yeah, the Dr. Dumbass.
People go along with it though too,
and they're like they think that I'm really and I can't. I look back now that I'm older and I look back at some of the stuff that I did. It was very ballsy. I remember dressing up like a fisherman, and I put a donut on the end of a fishing, and I was going. I called it fishing for cops, and I stood, and I was literally at the police station where you could go up the ramp there.
Yeah.
I was literally dropping the donut down like it's got chocolate on it. I'm like, how ballsy! I mean,
you get the wrong cop, dude.
Oh,
You never
dude!
know.
And then for a while, they hate that the chief of police lived in my neighborhood, and we tried to do something with them. And the guy said, "They don't want you." They said, "Y'all, you had a beef with them or something." I said, "No, I had no beef with the police." So I start talking, I start praising them, and now I'm like best friends with the cops. I mean, really. But
That's a hilarious idea, though.
Oh, fishing for cops.
Fishing for cops.
I took a plastic donut I got off Amazon. I'm like, hey, who ever thought that? I got a daughter in medical school. I got a wife who still thinks I got a TV show. So I mean, I just have to keep on working.
Keep up with
it's
that.
like and having daughters like having like a little best friend who thinks you're rich, and it's just very. And I just want to slow down. I mean, I heard someone say the other day, I'm very close to retire, and I think. I love that joke. I heard a comic says, my accountant says I can retire comfortably on my 65th birthday as long as I die the very next day. And that's me.
That's how you feel.
Yeah. But right now, the reason why I don't do a lot of that stuff because they don't pay well. But I'm like it's like the first quarter of the game, you're dunking behind your back, you're shooting half-court shots, and like right now the last quarter, like don't foul out, don't do anything stupid, don't foul out,
don't turn the ball over.
And man, I'm one move. I've always said I'm one move away from buying a private jet or one move away from being homeless. And right now, I just feel so vulnerable. Yeah.
That's how I feel like life as an entrepreneur is too for me sometimes.
Oh, dude.
It's like sometimes I feel like I'm one phone call away and I'm going to hire 3 more people and we're going to take a big vacation as a team, or the IRS might charge me $150,000 this year, and who knows what's going to happen.
I just sold a place on the one of my side hustles is real estate, and I had this place on the beach on Hilton Head Island.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful down there.
I love Hilton Head. I've been going there for 30. If you ever love a place, if you want to not love a place, just buy a.
I was at boot camp in Paris Island, so
you're
I
close
have
to me,
a little bit.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's like if you love Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge and you want to hate it, buy a cabin up there.
Yeah,
every time you buy, it's like you don't go there anymore as a as a vacationer.
Yeah.
But I sold the place, and it's so. I didn't have any capital gains or 1031s to transfer it to. I didn't have another property.
Had to eat that.
I had to write that big old check, way over 6 figures for a daggone. Like, yeah. So,
have you seen those videos where it's like a guy working behind the desk and he's got a little picture there and it says it's like the song's like I do it all for you, and then the camera turns and it's just a picture of the IRS logo sitting there.
Dude, that's the thing. I'm really we use this little outfit in J-Town, Right Tax Services, Dan Wright. And they keep, if I ever got audited, which I haven't, they'll owe me money because we're like so just. But what a necessary unpleasantness of life that is,
really
taxes or whatever. But thank God my wife. I would be homeless if it wasn't for my wife. My wife used to manage the state of New York's 401k. She's a money person, so she keeps us all really in line and above the law and everything like that, but along with our tax. But it's I don't know. I've been to live in Kentucky. I was just went to Burbank for a movie, and then I had to go to Vegas the second half. Then I was able to take my son who has Asperger's on the autism spectrum. He loves NASCAR, and we went to Bristol. We've never been to Bristol before.
I saw the video for that.
Yeah, and it was so great because he's just, when you're Asperger's, you're obsessed with things. You're obsessed with he loves politics, Saturday Night Live, and NASCAR.
Those are some good things to be obsessed about.
And we are, and it was just to have those backstage. And I'm like, wow, for me to live in Kentucky and stay in this industry, that's pretty daggone smoking cool. So.
It is, because a lot of Kentuckians don't get to. They have to move, where the action is.
Yeah. A friend of mine, Jennifer Lawrence is I'm more friends with her parents or whatever, but she. What are you talking about? A success there. You're familiar with Jennifer.
She went to Male, right?
I don't know where she went to high school. I know she quit one school because she's all the mean girls, just like my daughter. My daughter wrote her a letter before I knew her, talking about how she read her story and how she's
related to it. Yeah.
But I was at her movie premiere, a movie called Mother, and I was up in New York, and I was leaving. And I get a call, and they go, "Hey, Karen, her mom calls. Like, we're over at Jen's house. Come over." And she gave me the address. I went over there. And I went, and she had the top 2 floors of this beautiful in Soho, New York. And
that's
I'm like,
cool.
Wow, this is a lot different than my little 2-story house in J-Town, right outside J-Town. But that's
really cool.
That's a lot of success.
Hunger Games, right? Isn't that Jennifer
Hunger
Lawrence?
Games. That's Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah,
Man,
she's done
such a great series.
She's such a phenomenal actress or whatever. Yeah. And a band that I created, we were out. She was hosting. Jimmy Kimmel went on break, and so she was hosting Jimmy for a couple nights, and she invited me and the band to come out to be on Kimmel, and it was just what a great person, what a talent, what just. And I think she's having another kid. She had a kid. She's going to have a second kid.
She always seemed like, even off camera, like when you saw her off camera, and of course, there's pressure there, but she always seemed like she was down to earth. You know what I mean? Like she was just relatable, more so than a lot of people. Well,
people would see her and Karen like at Target back when she was doing Hunger Games and stuff that, and like, wow, it's so great. And but it's interesting when she's home and they're putting paper up, construction paper up on the window so photographers can't shoot in.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah. And, Tom Cruise, which I've never met, know nothing about. Tommy Maypother as he was in Louisville for a while.
I think he went to school here for a little while.
Yeah, he went to St. X. Remember when he was the first time the Love, they burnt the house down. I remember the first day, hey, Tommy Maypother's in a movie, and everybody went to see his first hit one line in this movie, so it was great. Wow, that's cool.
So are you a character in a movie coming up?
I'm in a movie with Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother.
Yeah, I've seen him.
It's that's the only reason why I took the part, because it's a small part. They go, Eric's in. I said, who's in it? And they go, oh, that's good. It's the most drive-in B-rated movie, but there's a whole fan base for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And my best friend is a guy named Cato Kalin, which you guys are familiar with. Cato was in the O.J. Simpson trial.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you may be too young. Do you remember Cato?
Did you watch the doc?
You don't. God, how are you? 12?
I watched the doc.
I'm 35.
Well, you should remember. Yeah. Because you were 5 when all this went down. And when O.J. Simpson murdered his Ron Goldman.
The glove and all that. Come on, man. If he would have done
I know
it.
what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
don't remember the details of it.
Well, Cato was a prominent, and everyone made fun of him for Martin Short, everything at Saturday Night Live. But he and I met in Chicago doing radio, so he's in the movie. He's like, "Oh man, you gotta do it! Come on, I heard you got to come out and do it." So I got to hang with him, and it's not the same when I was being on the wrong side of 50 now. It's not the same when I was 21, riding my gremlin up and down Preston Highway in Oklahoma,
Yeah, that's where we grew up.
Yeah, that's where I grew up in Hillview, but we
So
always
did
lived
I.
in Gamer.
Lived off Blossom when I was a kid.
You lived off Blossom?
Yeah, Blossom and Oxford Court. I don't know if you know the intersection.
I lived in
there.
Overlook for 30-something years. We moved to Overlook when I was 2, and I moved out when I was 26.
Yeah, we moved to Smyrna Road when I was 13.
Okay.
So, but
my
childhood, from going to Hillview to that, it was
Oxford,
like, oh man.
Ray Ferguson lived back there. Kirk Palace lived back there. Dennis McKinney. I know the area really well. That's where I grew
it's
up.
changed a lot even since we were there.
It has,
day.
and my mom's house is still back. Well, she passed away, but I still, every time I go out there, I go through.
I do that too.
I go through Blossom. I turn up Bangor, go down Overlook. I got Summit and all that. Yeah,
Got by Maryville Elementary School. We used to go ride back in them fields back there all the time.
Yeah,
so.
I remember the pool back there, Maryville.
The public pool.
So I went to Maryville, Hebron, and then North Bullitt. So it's funny. I was sitting there, they're putting together like a 45th year reunion for my high. I'm like, wow, and I saw Mike
North Bullitt?
Yeah, North Bullitt.
That's cool.
And I saw Mike Exton, and I'm like, who are all these old people? Like, oh my gosh, they're my classmates. And it's funny, every time if you want to go to a high school reunion in Bullitt County, just go to Schopenhauer's funeral home. Any Saturday, just see them out there. They're tailgating.
They all know each other.
They're freaking tailgating at Schopenhauer's.
That's no lie.
That is no. I kid you not. And then they go to Beef O'Brady's. It's any Wednesday night. And I was at this funeral home, and a buddy of mine, Shane Wallace, Shane still has a good looking man, but he was a year young. I'm 85. He was 86. And I said, Shane, do we look that old? I mean, there's people in like wheelchairs and canes and stuff. He's like, no, Tommy. He said, people just don't stay active.
They just didn't take care of themselves.
I'm like, wow.
Oh, but they're your age.
They're my age, and I kid you not. I mean, they looked a whole lot. And I was looking at a house out in Mount Washington. I kid you not, the guy, I graduated a year after you did. I'm like, you did? Why? I thought maybe you were my teacher or something. I didn't say that. But I just can't. I mean, look. I'm looking in the monitor. I mean, I definitely don't look like I'm 30, but I don't look like I'm 90. You know?
Yeah.
I'm finally starting. My hair is 20 years younger than me. I'm finally starting to get a little.
Listen,
You
man,
don't look a day over 56.
You're just saying that because did you Google me?
Maybe.
Well, screw you. I'm 57. So I look better than 56. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's true, man. I see some people like that, and I'm like, dang, well, he looks 75, and he's like in his mid-50s. It's just a matter of how you take care of yourself.
Dude, I'm so active. I mean, I get up, I hit the ground, I go to bed working, I wake up working, and I'm constant. Like when I leave here, I'm going to cut grass at a property. I want to change some furnace filters at another property, and I just go.
Yeah.
And I need to, and I'm home for a while. I'm home off the road. I'm home for the derby parties and such. It's my first year. I'm going back to the derby parties. We used to go every single year at the time when my career was real hot. We get invited to the bar.
Oh, you get to go down there to the actual thing.
So I made a call. They should say, we haven't been to a party in like 10 years, and oh my gosh, you got to come. So we're going to go to a party Friday night. But
you going to Churchill at all this week, or
no, probably not. I don't know. We used to love going to Oaks. We used to love.
That's like the local thing.
Yeah, it was like a family. At the time when I went, it was. They said you can't even get into the. I used to be an usher there. I used to be.
Oh, really?
I used to work for Brantley's usher service. We used to open the doors for people or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I got high was working for Brantley. It was at a Patti LaBelle concert. And I wasn't smoking it. Just the whole arena was just filled with just pot.
You just got contact.
Oh, my contact. Well, the guy next to me, whoa! I mean, he was all the way. They were burning it. It was so awesome. What great memory. Now, did you work when you were coming up and you living off Oxford and Blossom? Mm-hmm. Did you work locally at any place?
I worked at the Tumbleweed and Brooks, and then it's a long story. I got so mad at them one time when they were going to fire me.
The twin brothers were going to fire you?
I don't know who was up there. I don't know.
Those are the owners.
At the Tumbleweed,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I took all their chips and dumped them in the fryers and walked out of there. So I was
Really?
never welcome back after that.
You want to hear? Go ahead. Can I tell you a story?
Yeah. Interrupt.
So I started out in the entertainment industry as a jingle writer and then a songwriter. And Tumbleweed was my client from the time I was 17 years old till I was 42.
That's awesome.
And I was like, Tumbleweed cooks their steaks on a campfire in the kitchen. And Tumbleweed, all that
Yeah, I
stuff.
remember all
I
that.
did all those. All those are my.
That's cool.
That's all my. And if you go to a Tumbleweed now, which I love going there, to get the burrito enchilada style, burrito deluxe enchilada
Their
style.
queso's pretty fire too.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
But you'll hear the music playing on the. You never heard of Tumbleweed? God, you're 12. You go to
Oh,
Tumbleweed.
no, I said now I'm hungry.
Now I'm hungry. Dude, I'm
yeah.
hungry.
Look at me. I've heard of every restaurant. Okay.
Yeah, I purposely put our office next to a donut shop.
Yeah, we did. We saw that. And we were like, "This is the spot."
Daddy's home.
It's been chosen.
It's been chosen. So, well, can you tell me your name one more time?
Tim.
Tim.
Tim
Yeah,
Isaac.
Tim Height?
Tim Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaac. What-
Isaac. You know.
Isaac.
Don't
Tim.
say it. Don't say it like
Tim,
that.
where are you from? Are you from this area?
I'm from here. Yeah.
You
Born
from-
and raised in Louisville, Kentucky.
Like, where did you go
say
to
it like
school?
I went to most of them.
Did you really?
Yeah,
You got kicked
I
out.
was-
I hear you got
I
kicked
was-
out of most of them.
Yeah, I was what you would say.
Problem
You would
child.
call a troubled youth.
Troubled youth.
Yeah.
You were out there.
Yeah, but the problem I wasn't.
Did you
the
kill the
problem.
goose on Bardstown
I
Road?
had
Was that
nothing to
you?
do with
Did-
it. Let
did-
the record state I had nothing to do with the death of the goose.
Just so you guys know what we're talking off the air, we're talking about this. It was a geese or a goose or whatever you call it. Guy was dead. And this yahoo, Isaac, what do you call it?
It's an inside joke with the Isaac.
Isaac.
I made him business cards,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I put Isaac accidentally instead of Isaac.
Oh, God.
And so anyway,
Two S's.
yeah,
You
two
dress
S's
up-
instead of two
But it
A's.
changes. It
Did you
changes.
literally dress up like a chicken and went out there to try to save the goose? Or
No.
that was that
He was
didn't-
going to.
No,
Going
it was a
to.
concept.
He had the suit on, and we were about to send him down there, and then somebody came in and ruined the fun and said that was a goose, not a
Well, you
chicken.
guys know where I live. It backs up to the old country road there. There was a
Right.
deer that got hit by a car and didn't quite make it. My son, this is in November. My son puts a Santa Claus suit on, goes out back, lays next to the dead deer. And my wife says a school bus went by, a bunch of second graders. Jesus.
I wonder where he gets that from.
somebody ran over
and he's
the
trying.
whole
He's trying.
set.
I said, buddy, we gotta be careful when we do these pranks, because I'm a clean comedian. I said, you gotta be able to hug someone after you do a prank as like all good and fun. And I was doing a show at the Field Museum in Chicago. It was for AT&T. I love these corporate shows. They fly you in and they fly you home the same night.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes till 8. My wife called. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean I'm doing? I'm getting my game face on. I'm going to go on stage." She said, "Call me right when you get off stage." I said, What's up? She said, "I'll tell you." I said, "Man, I can't get on stage."
Yeah, you gotta know.
Are
You've
the
been thinking about
kids
that the whole
okay? Are the
time.
dogs okay? Did Timmy kill a goose? I don't know what's going on here. And she said, "The cops brought Josh home." I said, "What?" She said, "A J-Town cop." She said, "I think it was one of your buddies."
Was he fishing for cops?
He wasn't fishing for cops. No, he said, I got all these outfits in my prop closet in the garage and stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, "You know that Grim Reaper outfit you got?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, he put it on. He went out dressed like the Grim Reaper. He went out to the corner of Ruck Regal and Taylorsville Road.
no.
He stood out front of a funeral home and waved to people as they drove by as the Grim Reaper, going, "You." I put him on the phone. I'm like,
That's hilarious.
Buddy, tell me you videotaped. That's freaking hilarious. So, and
Did they get it on camera?
no,
man.
no, not at all.
That would have been perfect.
Just for the laughs.
He just doesn't know. He interviews these kids. If you want to hear my 10-year-old, he used to do these podcasts. He used to do podcasts but wouldn't record anybody. And he'd call them on the phone and say, "I'm doing a podcast with you." I'm like, "Okay, now how'd it go? Can I hear it?" "What do you mean? It's already over with." I'm like, "Did you record it?" "No." I said, "Buddy, you got to record it." And I said, "Look, and this is back there when we had the answer machine. Hit this memo button when you call him. Let's record the whole thing."
Yeah.
And at 10 years old, he called NASCAR. He negotiated Tom Mabe, my second album, and TomMabe.com to be on the side of a NASCAR. And we ended up making it happen.
No
No
way.
way.
Yeah, I went down. We went down to
That's so cool.
it was a Daytona 500, and saw my car. It got wrecked on like the seventh lap, but they kept on showing the wreck
Daytona.
over and over and over and over again. I know it wasn't during the Daytona. I can't say that. It was like the one before.
The Bush race or whatever.
Yeah, Nationwide or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those baby
Yo, I
rides.
call it Bush, but that's from like the late '90s. I think they've changed it a bunch.
Yeah, it
since
used to
then.
be a Sprint Cup series.
Winston Cup, then the
Oh,
Sprint
my
Cup,
gosh,
then
Winston
the Bush
Cup.
Light series.
So yeah,
and-
but my son, oh my gosh, listen up on YouTube. It's called My 10-Year-Old Manager. My 10-year-old is my manager, and here's this 10-year-old kid, and it's like one of my other revenue streams is XM Radio. I've been to XM since day one. So if you listen to like the Clean, like 98, whatever it is, I think it's Dan and whatever his name is.
Is that in Lexington?
No, Dan. No, who's the guy? Foxworthy. Jeff and Dan.
Oh, Jeff Fox. Oh.
Dan is Larry the Cable Guy's real name. Dan Whitney. So Larry and Jeff. Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
you know what, man? When I found that out, speaking of Larry the Cable Guy's real name, it was disturbing.
Hurt his feelings.
It
Did it really?
Yeah, it changed things for me. You know, I always thought that's Larry,
Yeah.
and then to come and find out his name's Dan.
Dan Whitney. Yeah, and he's if you
was hard.
look up Dan Whitney before he's down here, I got to be careful because Reno Collier, who's a dear friend of mine, we do a podcast. Reno and Dan are best friends, and Reno tours with him. And he says we were doing, and Reno just did this. You know who's the guy? Nate Bergazzi.
Nate Bergazzi from Nashville.
We love Nate.
Yeah,
and,
great dude.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, God, I watch his special place. His parents are from here, from Louisville.
Yeah, his
right.
aunt goes to our church, Cornerstone.
I'll be darned.
yeah.
So Nate's producer's playing golf. It's a celebrity golf tournament. It's me. I'm with another buddy. I just did his last video. Cletus T. Judd. I remember.
Cletus T.
Cletus T. Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Classic.
Oh yeah, Cletus. So Cletus and I are dear friends. He texted me this morning, and I directed his last video, and it was and Reno. And Reno's on Nate's show, telling the show about how Tom Mabe and Cletus are spending the night at his house in Nashville. And so, and the producer,
I can't even imagine.
the producer for Nate's show was part of the show. Like we're sitting here.
Yeah.
He's like, the producer goes, "Hey man, how's it going?" And he's talking. He's talking to Cletus. He goes, "Oh man, it's good." I said, "Man, long shot, but we'd love to have you on the show." And he goes, "Heck yeah, I love to do Nate Bergazzi. That's a great thing." And so the producer and then Reno's telling the story. He said, "Tell me that Larry the Cable Guy he's in this golf tournament, right?" He said, "No." He said, "I just spent like an hour talking to some guy, inviting him to be on our podcast." He said, "I even gave him Nate's cell phone number."
Oh, no.
Like thinking it was Dan, thinking it was Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, man.
He said, "What?" He said, "What?" He said, "Oh, that guy right there." He said, "That's Cletus T."
Oh no!
and he's still a celebrity at the end, but the guy thought he was talking to the Larry the Cable
To
Guy.
be fair, they do kind of, I can see the
do. They do.
They're
resemblance.
similar
Yeah.
guys.
The thing, and here's the thing about that's really interesting about comics on that level. Dan is an incredible golfer, amazing golfer. Cletus, his real name is Barry, so Barry is Cletus, Dan is Larry.
Don't do this to me.
I'm sorry, Santa Claus, Eugene. No,
He's not real, Tim.
no, he's not. But anyway, but Cletus still holds the high school record for more shots made in one game because they call him. Yeah, I did a show with him. He's crying on stage. His coach on him, "Come on, fat boy! Come on, fat boy!" And he finds out, and he turned out he lost like 180 pounds, and he still holds. And Cletus is world class golfer.
Really?
Better than Dan.
That's crazy.
Better than Larry. And
You got to golf with him? You golf with him?
Oh yeah. I'm
That's
a
cool.
golfer. I'm not that level.
We are
But
too.
he's made my. I love. Y'all play golf?
Oh yeah, we play a lot.
jeez.
You don't play at Charlie much, do you?
Okay. You know where I've been going? I'll probably play today. Later, I'll probably go out to a hidden. What's not Hidden Valley? That's Hidden Valley.
Oh, you talking about the
Ranch.
one in East Louisville off Brownsboro?
Yeah. Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a great 9-hole course,
It's
man.
a great 9-hole course, and I play like 7 holes, and I peter out, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But
That's about all you need, really, man.
it really
You
is.
know,
I'm like, who does 18?
Dude, we played 18 at Neville
I'd be
Mead last
exhausted.
week,
Oh,
and
Neville
it
Mead, yeah.
wore me out,
Yeah.
man. And I'm young, and it wore me out.
Well, we have to get you guys to. Some of these, but it's I played with a guy named Jim Dishman. I don't remember Dishman and Ballard, local duo. Jim's a scratch golfer. He's a 60
Good.
guy. He's really good. And but yeah, I love golf. I took it up late, and I played it for years, but I was always a drunk guy driving a golf cart.
Just having a good time.
But now, I got to tell you, I just love I'm really, I think I'm slowing down, and I think I'm set for life. I've been very smart. Like I said, my wife used to manage the 401k for the state of New York. But we still have 2 kids on payroll. One's 26, one's 22, and it's because I'm college and one's special needs, and I think I'm set. And then all of a sudden you get like a notification, you've been demonetized. And like that represents that represents a chunk,
Yeah.
And because someone hacked me and it says that they say I live in Vietnam or
That
something.
is insane.
How do you can you reverse that? Can you
Well, it used to be.
change it
I
back
used to have no, I can't. Somehow I still have access. I can still upload. So what I'm doing, I'm sharing from my other Facebook pages to that, and I think I finally got to where I love the short-term rental game. So if anyone out there has a house for sale in Bullock County, I rent out weekly. I go in there and I gut them, and I make them like a magazine, and I'll you can make. If you rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Bullock County, you rent $1,800 to $2,200 a month.
Yeah.
But if you do what I do, you make $5,000-6,000 a month.
Right.
So,
On the short-term side.
I love the short-term rental side. I love it. I'll leave here and go cut the grass. We got someone checking out today. Someone coming in first. Yeah, for Derby, they're paying $1,200 a night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's
so this is like an Airbnb situation.
Airbnb and Verbo is where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what my place was on the beach too. So.
And you're really close to the Bourbon Trail and stuff too.
I call it the Bourbon Trail Bungalow. If you look up the Bourbon
that's
Trail
cool.
Bungalow,
Oh,
that's Bourbon Trail Bungalow 1. And I got these commercial properties where I got tenants in them, and like those aren't. And then I got, can I tell you about this? This is
Tell me about whatever, man. You're fine.
So I hate. I don't know if you've ever seen where I make fun of the personal injury attorneys on my.
Oh yeah, dude, that was one of my favorite ones.
Call the chainsaw.
The one where you call out Daryl, I about died.
Don't take a hammer to a chainsaw fight, dumbass Daryl.
That about killed me.
Yeah,
Man.
and I love Daryl. He's a good guy.
Yeah. We might try to have him on at some point.
Oh, you
but-
should. He's a good interview.
That's what I've heard.
He's a good dude. His office call want me to do something with him at one point. I was actually got called for jury duty, and I had a gig. I'm missing the show and everything, and I was in the jury pool, and I got to know everybody. This should have been a movie, and I'm sitting there listening, and they go, Mr. Mabe, what do you think if someone said this or someone said that? Do you think that you would be able to? Judge this without being, whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And so I got a question. I said, why is the insurance company suing her or not suing her insurance?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, and they just froze up, and it was some money grab. And I said, guys, I'm sorry. Look, here's the deal. I know you told me, Judge, that it's our civil duty.
Yeah.
I'm missing a gig, like a $10,000 gig. The lady behind me, she's missing her vacation.
Yeah.
Because this lady slipped and fell at a Walmart, and it's a money grab. It doesn't feel good.
Right.
And they had to clear the whole jury pool and start from scratch because that lady, no way in hell that case they would have won with the 40 people.
With the jury sitting there.
With this particular jury, 30, 40
like
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, he's right. Or civil. I mean, this is what I'm missing my vacation for, and I hate it. I just hate. I hate the legal system in the states.
Yeah,
here.
when it comes to stuff like that.
And the UK, if you lose a suit, if it's a money grab, if it's a fraudulent, if it's a redneck lottery, you're winning the red. You have to. The lawyer has to pay. Has to pay for all the cost or whatever.
If comes out to be where it's not legit.
It makes them not want to do those fraudulent lawsuits.
I'm with that.
Me too, because I've been sued. Like right now, someone fell through. And we got it on video. It's the most awkward fake fall ever. Someone fell through a door as they were walking in, and they're like suing the management company who manages. They're suing the tenants. They're suing the owner. It's just a blanket lawsuit, and that will play out the way it's supposed to play out. But I mean, that's one of many lawsuits I've been through where I still, even though I'm completely innocent, you could get sued by a ham sandwich.
Oh, yeah. They just decide they don't like you that day. They can make anything.
And I'll spend $200,000 to prove a point. And I'm like, go ahead, dude. I said, I'll drag this out. There's a big law firm in Louisville. Big law firm. I created a group. I put on Facebook. I said, I'm looking for 5 black guys who can sing their asses off. And I had this idea for a prank. all thugged out, going through, polo fields, knocking on people's doors, and people opened the doors, and they weren't there to rob them. They were there to sing Christmas carols.
Oh, did you put something up about that?
Oh, yeah, that was my thing.
That was the dudes.
Yeah, they I can't say their name.
Okay. They're so good.
They rhyme with Lincoln Park.
Yeah, but they're really good, too.
They're really good. Well, they ended up, the opportunists and heat seekers of our community got in their ear, Tom Mabe's ripping you off. And, dude, I would never, oh, golly, I believe in the karma gods. And, And I said, these guys haven't paid for a flight in 6 months. I'm paying for all their expenses and everything. And I got sued. And I realized halfway through the lawsuit, my lawyer, Steve Pence, and Steve is one who handles, he's Rick Pitino.
I was going to say his name sounds familiar.
Oh, he's Papa John's. He's big. He used to be attorney general. He's very, very, and he's my attorney for things like this. And he said, he said, I think this law firm is doing this on a contingency basis. I'm like, let's have fun with them. Let's just spend a little money. I'll write it off. And I was like, and I just saw we were in mediation and stuff, and I just see the attorney over there, just all the winds are taken out of his sails and this and that. He didn't know who that guy was at all. He said, well, yeah, this group is the reason why you're even popular. I said, dude, I had a #1 cassette on the comedy charts, a cassette tape, Revenge of the Telemarketers, back when I was doing prank phone calls. and he finally
back when Bob and Tom was still big.
Oh, yeah, dude. I remember being on Bob and Tom was like being on Johnny Carson for a month.
It's like being on Joe Rogan nowadays.
Oh, geez, it was, yeah. But I hate the lawsuits. And I'm trying to, like I said earlier, I don't want to foul out, but I'm like, every time I turn around, there's some kind of anytime there's that saying, Tim, what's it say? No good deed goes unpunished. And how true is that, too? Every time you try to do something. We had a homeless guy who, he had stage 4 cancer, and we put him up we got him an apartment. With his dog, was pet friendly. I'm a big dog advocate. We do a lot of dogs.
We got one in the office over there. I'll let her out before you leave.
Okay, yeah, we got 5 dogs. We're foster failures. We foster them. Oh, I love it. Let's keep it. We can't go on vacation until we're 90, but it's okay. Yeah. And now I got a 17-year-old and 13-year-old that just pee everywhere. I got a dog that'll pee at me and look at me in the house. They'll make eye contact. He'll pee. They'll come over and want me to get a treat. Like, really, dude?
He comes over and says, "Hey, watch this."
Yeah, dude. I'm like, no, you don't get a treat for peeing in the house. But anyway, I want a simpler. I know I'm all over the place. I got ADD. Now, as a kid, it wasn't
fine, dude. This is just.
It wasn't called ADD growing up. It was called Tommy Needs a Spanking. Remember back in Maryville?
That's what my mom always said. You just didn't get whooped enough. Yeah. No, I mean, it's true. Even now, like on a smaller scale, we've gotten sued twice. We're in one right now. I guess they're not technically suing us. They're
Is this
suing
one of
our
your businesses?
Yeah,
okay.
Sergeant Junket.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. This was I've used you guys. That's where you remove the junk from houses.
Right. Yeah, we'll come in and clean a house out or a property out or whatever. Did you
actually take a junkie like a kid that was there? Oh, I thought he's a junkie. No.
We've had to kick them out before.
Yeah.
People have mistaken my shirt for saying Sergeant Junkie.
Yeah, he's the chief of junkies, they think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The sergeant of the junkies.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So
Captain Junkie?
So they all salute me when I walk down the street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
You go down to Portland, he starts getting salutes.
Oh, anyway. So you get sued.
Like workers' compensation stuff. Like I had a guy one time, I had fired him, and he didn't work.
These are from employees.
Right. No, not properties, because, we do a pretty good job of taking care of people.
You never had like a customer sue you?
No.
Of course.
Okay. No. We've had people like, hey, we were done with the job, and they'll say, well, there's this huge long scratch on my, and it's like, well, we didn't move any furniture, so of course, we've got insurance. So
it's a money
cover
grab.
that. Yeah, they just wanted their floors redone on our dime.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So that's happened before, but I had one guy, and I had fired him, and like 8 months later, he called and he said, man, back when I was working for you, I was throwing a tire up in a truck, and it bounced off the side of the truck and hit me in the head, and I ain't been right since, and I'm suing you. And I'm like, okay. So then I called everybody that worked with him at the time, and I said, did that guy ever get hit in the head with a tire? And they were all like, no, dude. And if he did, none of us saw it happen. Yeah. And I called him back, and I said, good luck, man. And apparently he had called the insurance company, and they were just like, yeah, go ahead, try to sue us.
Yeah, dude, I have zero tolerance. I mean, if your financial future is based upon a scratch-off ticket or some kind of fraudulent lawsuit, you screwed up somewhere.
Yeah, you did. Something ain't right.
And you're not going to be. You're never. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Mm-hmm. If you do something like that, I tell my kids that. you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to curse on your show,
You
but I mean,
can.
I just got
It's
zero.
all right. This show ain't for kids. So you're okay.
No, you're a full blown piece of shit.
Yeah.
I got. I mean, don't wish for it, work for it. Freaking just, my kids. Well, I'm so worried. I said, don't worry, work.
Yeah.
Things will work out if you're working. But don't.
You ever heard Shaquille O'Neal talk about that?
Nuh-uh.
He's mega rich. And
Yeah,
all
you're
this,
right.
And his kids will say, Dad, when can we buy? He was talking about his kids coming up in age, and he said, when can we buy a nicer car for me? And he said, who's we? He said, this is my money. I'm rich. You ain't rich.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to work for what you get.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I appreciate that about some major star athlete who's willing to put his kids to work.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he had a great story. Sorry to interrupt. He had a great story about his own dad teaching him about.
Oh yeah.
About his work ethic.
Took him
and
downtown.
Pressure. Yeah, because he he had a bad game or something, and his dad called him, and they ended up getting together. And Shaq was telling his dad about how the pressure was just so much.
Yeah.
And so he drove him down, and they went downtown somewhere, like you said, and there was a family living in a tent under a bridge.
Yeah.
Family of four.
Skid Row, probably Los Angeles.
Yeah. And the guy gets up to go to work in the morning, and he's like, "Now that's pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have anything. Like he's
like, shut up and play.
That's the real pressure. You get to play a game.
Yeah, for a living.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just amazing. Isn't it funny? I grew up in Maryville, single parent, extremely poor. I'm talking like sometimes not eating, kind of poor. My mom was a musician and she played drums, and she got into the West End, a place called Schooners, and play all these VFW
Oh yeah, I've heard of
balls.
Schooners. Yeah.
Yep. And then she would between that she would double dip. I think she's trying to get some Social Security and this and that. Trying to keep it all together for 3 kids. And my kids will never understand what it's like not to have air conditioning or for they both had new cars. They both and I was like, I might have screwed up because I never had.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Because when we grew up I grew up in Maryville too.
Yeah.
We weren't poor, but I didn't get in all the things I wanted. And my kids.
Yeah.
They get everything they want, the newest baseball bat. And, when they get older, we'll be able to afford them a decent car.
And it's good to be able to do that, but they need to know. But don't judge your happy. When I grew up, I remember getting married. My wife said, I'm not marrying. She checked my credit report. It's back in my early 20s. And she said, you've been paying on a sweater from Shillitoes from the Jefferson Mall since you were 17 years old. Not the freshman at U of L. I got a credit card.
You're thinking, what's wrong with that?
That's almost paid for. 17 payments, baby. This sweater's mine. Yeah. I mean, it don't fit anymore. But we were. Now I kind of did that. I grew my. It's funny. I've had the 4-slice toaster. I had the place on the beach. I had the Porsche twin turbo. I had all that stuff, and I had the 4-slice toaster. I wasn't any happier.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, I went out and I said, you know what? I drive a lot, and during COVID, I ordered me a Corolla. And I'm like, I want a Corolla. They get this one got like 44 miles per gallon. Yeah. And the guy called. He goes, hey, your Corolla's here. I'm like, what? Well, oh, shit, I forgot about it. And I didn't need that recently because I realized that I'm 9 feet tall and I'm old and I
Corolla might be a little too small for you.
Dude. My legs start getting numb. I'm driving with a tennis ball under my butt cheek So I did go out and treat myself to a nice. And I still had the nice toys at home if I need it to be Tom Mabe or be kind of a cool dude or something.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to refer to myself in third person, kind of gay.
It's all right.
But it's so funny when you finally realize that stuff is not. Those material things don't make you happy, and it's not until you can afford anything until you realize it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing. Jim Carrey said, I wish all y'all could be rich for a minute, this rich like I am. It's not any better.
Kid Rock had a song about that, too.
Really?
Where he talks about, he's singing about a guy working on the line, and he said, I bet you wish you had my life, and I wish I had yours, kind of a thing, where he wishes life was more simple, and he just had to go to work and make his money, and kind of the same sentiment, too. It's like when you get all these things. You see that a lot, man. You see that with NBA players. They get these contracts, and 2 years later, they're dead broke.
Well, Kid Rock, who goes by Bobby, he's a Nashville boy now.
Yeah, he has a big White House in Nashville.
Yeah, and he has a mobile home too with a $200,000 deck around it. It's amazing. He does.
No way.
No, yeah, he does.
I would love to meet him one time, dude.
Jim Moose Brown wrote a song called 5 O'Clock Somewhere, and he works with Kid Rock quite a bit. He was on the road with Seeger for like 7 years. And I said, hey, I saw the last time I was at the Barnstable Brown. I said, I saw Bobby at the Barnstable Brown party. He wasn't very cool. He said, was he drinking? I said, oh yeah. He said, oh no, he's a total dick when he's drinking. He's told you, he just is just a bad. But he'll go out. He's like me. I can't drink. I drink or I don't drink.
Yeah.
But you'll see people take pictures. I'm pretty sure there's a Kid Rock, and he dresses like an old man and goes out.
So people don't bother him.
He'll go anywhere and everywhere, McDonald's and stuff, and he just has this disguise he wears. Can you imagine having to be like
I can't imagine that, dude.
I mean, like just walk.
He'll also
over.
fight somebody at Waffle House too if you ain't careful.
Oh, yeah.
You catch him on the wrong day, he'll beat you up at a Waffle House.
I love that he's Republican, and I'm a Republican. He's like, I don't like Trump.
You got to
love him.
You got to check out Biggie Trump in our bathroom before you leave.
I will. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that? Have you guys seen these things I'm doing where I'm interviewing dead people?
Yeah, we were just watching them. The Abraham
the-
Lincoln one was
Oh,
hilarious.
they're either historical or hysterical, and that one's I said because people go, "This is the funny," because I did John Lennon, which is all serious.
We saw that one too. It was real
And
serious.
these are all answers from AI. These are answers that they're just going out grabbing from Google or whatever.
So do you
He
upload
said-
the photo and then AI moves it, or does AI just generate that photo itself?
No, I gotta find one that doesn't get flagged. Find a flaw.
Okay.
The first couple, like I know I did JFK, and he says he didn't think Lee Harvey Oswald killed him by himself. And it's really
I saw that
yeah,
one.
very
Oh,
interesting. Well, I'm doing Walter Cronkite right now. Walter Cronkite, and I'm asking about fake news and stuff because I woke up yesterday.
Walter Cronkite was like the OG. He would deliver the news on.
Yeah. And I asked him, and it's interesting. Yeah, I said, so you Republican or Democrat? He said, I never discussed that.
Yeah.
He said, it's not. I'm here to inform, not to influence. And I was watching. I can't watch ABC News anymore. I don't care what side you're on. The lies are so damn bad.
And it's just like, why? Just deliver the facts and let the people decide for themselves.
90% of the people think Trump is just going to run the country. No, you ask 5 people in the office who are all Dems. It's such a they won't. I think the news is a big reason why. One of the reasons why he won.
I agree. I think people are just tired of getting
the lies.
bamboozled. They understand they're getting tricked, and they're just
the day of the election, the day of the Kamala's leading by 90% of the vote. We might as well vote for her, Fred. Let's just vote for her.
That's what they think people are going to do.
And I'm like, ABC hashtag. This is going to backfire on you.
Yeah.
And I was so happy when he won. They said it was too big to rig. It's not like I'm a huge Trump fan, but I am a Republican, and they're like, we're 100 days in, yesterday or the day before, and they're just coming down on him. And I even put on Facebook, if you ever think you got too many friends on Facebook, post your political viewpoints. They were so pissed at you, Nazi, F you washed up.
I bet they did, especially with the amount of followers that you've got too, because you're out there for a lot of people.
Yeah,
to
well,
see.
you have 4 million followers on both pages, and and it's and you can't. But sometimes it gets so. So bad you can't shut up. You got to say something like, God, please quit doing that. We're not stupid. So I'm asking Cronkite about all these things. I said, did you ever voice opinion or anything? And he did apparently during the Vietnam War. He's like, this is not right. We got to get out of it.
Which, you know what? Fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've listened to, I don't know what, I was listening to a podcast or something, and they were taking clips of him talking about that. And they were saying that exact same thing. Like, when did the news stop just giving us the news and letting us decide for ourselves? And when did they become a political, polarizing, giving everything from their viewpoint on either side? You know what I mean? Like, just tell us the news, man. We're not idiots. We can figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and I'm so excited. People want to do it's called Dead Man Talking, Digging Up the Dirt.
That is such a cool podcast.
And I really want to take it even further, but it's just, and I think we got 600,000 views on the but I got death threats on the John Lennon. People really think that he is Jesus, and they get
no,
that's not Lennon.
What?
I know that's him. He's 84 years old. He just looks really good. What?
Gosh.
Is that crazy?
They think he's Jesus?
Well, no, they think that he's as the equivalent to Jesus.
Like they worship him.
Okay.
As
Yeah,
being
yeah,
a
yeah.
guy. That's crazy. People were sending death threats over there.
Oh, dude, they were mad. You should die. It was so like here's I'll show you a little bit of this. This is
Yeah, and you can hold it up to the mic too if you want people to hear it.
I believe the moon landing was real. I reported on it extensively and saw the dedication of the scientists and astronauts involved.
That's cool.
The evidence, including telemetry data and moon samples, is overwhelming.
And they look really.
They
Like,
look
that's
good.
probably what he looked like.
That's an actual picture. No, I chose that picture.
Okay,
so I
okay.
find a picture that doesn't get flagged by the AI folk.
I got you. And it'll
And,
look normal like when they're talking and stuff.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm watching my posture. I'm fat and skinny at the same time on the monitor there.
You look great.
Well, trim you up, dude.
Well,
Look, here's why I sit close to the desk.
yeah.
I kind of slump down a little bit
Yeah,
so that the round part's underneath. You know what I'm saying?
See, my thing is I control the cameras.
Yeah.
So
He knows when to suck it
whenever I'm
in.
about to click
Gosh.
to myself, I do a little
Dude,
suck and tuck.
can I tell you something? So I do the same thing. I got it's called Studio Deck. It's similar to that. And I sit there and I have it right next to me, and I got in our broadcast room. And Reno and I do this podcast, and people call in here struggling with addiction and stuff, and we get them. We help them get. And we're not getting. We're not getting a.
You're just helping them. Yeah.
It's called Sober Talk. We're not getting
Sober talk.
Yeah, we're not getting a kickback or anything. They got like 350 episodes. And this one lady, she always call in about her daughter. She's a she's paralyzed, and she's in a like a crack house or whatever. And we both lost so many friends. I just lost one of my best friends
Yeah,
to
it's happened to
drugs
happen.
out in the
Lost
West
a few
End.
too, yeah.
And I said something. And I go, why they just? I mean, she said she's getting raped and everything. And I'm like, why they just throw her up on a bed or something? And then I look over Reno, and we're kind of slap at because we do the show every night at 8:00. I'm like, I look at him, he's going, and I take the camera, and I take it off the two shot of the whole table, and I put it just on him, and I am dying laughing. We got this lady on the phone, and
she's on the phone,
and we're live. And I got the camera on Reno Collier, and he's literally biting his finger, trying not to laugh. Then I would compose and I go, man, that's terrible. And I put it back in. I'm over here dying, and he's over. It's the biggest. Oh, geez, bless his heart.
And then when it's live, there's
And I'm
nothing
like,
you can
I'm
do.
so sorry. He said, Tom's doing everything. He's doing the audio. It's controlling. And we got a live phone. People call in. They call into the sober cell. And, we talk to them. And, Sober Talk is a bad mamma jamma thing, man.
Yeah.
That should have been really, really bigger one. We had a it's just expensive to do, you know. And it was really discouraging. I get someone to donate a flight to get someone from like Topeka, Kansas down to Florida, and I get them. They don't have Medicare or Medicaid, so I figured out how to get them Medicare, Medicaid, and I get them ready to check into this thing because they gambled they got drunk and gambled all the food money away and their bill money away because they usually got dual addictions. It may be mental illness, alcoholism,
like a gambling
or
addiction.
And they never showed up. I'm like, and then they called me and they thought I was their personal Jesus. I said, don't depend on me to stay sober. You'll be drunk by 5. I'm barely hanging on here, And geez Louise, I went to the doctor. He pressed on my liver and an Uber pulled up. I'm telling you, don't depend on me. So, but
Did you write that real time too?
What's that?
That Uber joke? Did you write that real time?
I wrote it, but I didn't do it real time. I said my check liver light came on. Don't worry. Well, guys, thanks for having me on. I got to pee.
Me too. Really, I do too, really bad. I'm glad you said it. So,
Well,
Tom,
thanks for having me on. We went way over, didn't we? We went about an hour.
Yeah,
Not
that's
too
about
bad.
where we want to be. I appreciate you coming on, man. It's thank you for
I
stopping
hope
by.
you got something out of that. I was kind of just rambling all over the place.
That's kind of what we want, man. For real. I don't need any.
It's just fun to talk.
It's just fun to talk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I love it.
I'd rather do that than do some kind of structure. So, guys, thanks so much for watching the By Design show. Go check out Tom. You will get a good laugh.
It's dead men talking. On
Digging up the
YouTube.
dirt. Yeah, Dead Man Talk. It's on Tom Mabe Comedy. If you go to Facebook, it's Tom Mabe Comedy, or my YouTube is Mabe in America.
Mabe in America. Yeah, go check Tom out and get a good laugh. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you on the next episode.
Yeah. There's a war going on inside. Just to name a couple, I battle with porn and pride. In a persistent struggle, a reoccurring huddle. A prayer meeting with me and the Holy Spirit. Feeling free, but no, I'm nowhere near it. But things are for his conviction. The awkward part of me that may leave others to suspicion and call me into question. I confess my addiction. Know it's a lethal weapon. May compromise the mission. Being proselytized from this humanistic system. You think about that?